The UFC GOAT list, probably the most debated list in the entire world. And that's saying something because, there's that list of people that went to that island. There's Santa's list. But this list, this is what people talk about. Everyone is always giving an opinion on it, giving their own list, debating who the GOAT is. Even non-MMA fans might go with a Conor McGregor or Khabib. But us hardcores, we know that the GOAT of the sport is Jack Della Maddalena. So without further ado, welcome to the debut of the Slim MMA YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you all had a great Christmas and a great New Year. 2026 is going to be a big one for all of us. So today, here is my top 10 UFC fighters of all time. Coming in at 10, I have Alex Pereira, and most people probably have him higher than 10, but the reason I have him 10 is because, yes, he has good wins like Strickland, Izzy, Yan, Hill, Yuri, and Clive. However, those wins, the best ones, Ankalaev and Izzy, he also lost to them. And I also feel like the people above him on this list have better wins than that. However, he is now dating Tracy Cortez, so that might put him a little bit higher on the list. But this list was made before that was announced, so I'm going to stick with Pereira at 10. Coming in at 9, I have Khabib Nurmagomedov. I never quite know where to put Khabib. Sometimes I'm thinking, is he a top 5? And other times I'm like, does he even make the list? But he did beat Conor, Dustin, and Justin back to back, which are 3 great wins. However, he got the belt of Ala Quinta, and all his wins before that, no one cares. He stat padded a few of his wins in the early career. He is 29-0, but yes, he only beat Conor, Dustin, and Justin that are noteworthy wins. And they are 3 very good wins, but the people above him on this list have better wins than that and have far greater volume. So I'm going to put Khabib at 9. He's probably going to drop down out of the list pretty soon because I think Pereira's not far from jumping above him. Max Holloway, he's borderline on this list. He could jump above him, but Khabib at 9. Up next, I have Daniel Cormier. One of my favourite fighters of all time. I didn't really get to watch him that much because it was his era was kind of before I was watching UFC, but his Jones versus DC beef, I used to watch that on YouTube all the time, just getting so in depth of Jones and just that whole beef there was just crazy. I wish I was old enough to actually watch the sport when that was all happening, but nonetheless, he beat Rumble twice, beat Gustafsson, beat Stipe. He did lose to Jones twice, he did lose to Stipe twice, but those are 2 great fighters, and without them, he might have been the greatest fighter of all time. He also came into the sport when he was much older. His prime years, he was wrestling in the Olympics still. And then, even his prime years in the UFC, he was 38, 39. If we got to see a younger version of DC in the UFC, maybe fighting at middleweight and not being a 5'10" blob at heavyweight, even though, sorry, I didn't mean to call DC a blob, but he was very short fighting at heavyweight. If we could have saw him in a smaller weight class, bit more slimmed down, could have been generational. But DC, coming in at 8. In at 7, I have Merab, and before you click off the video, because I have Merab at 7, I know he lost to Peter Yan. However, I don't think one loss should just immediately discredit the entire title reign and your win streak you had before that. I think he had a 14-fight win streak. He beat Jose Aldo, Peter Yan in that first one, Cejudo, beat Sean O'Malley twice, beat Umar Nurmagomedov, beat Corey Sandhagen. That is a great win streak. And just because he lost to Peter Yan in a rematch against him, he should just drop out of this. Now, he's obviously going to have a trilogy with Peter Yan at some point. If he loses that, then fair enough. He can drop lower or even out of the list. Peter Yan probably comes in. But if he wins that, then that will just confirm he should be in the GOAT list in at 7. And I'm very excited for that fight this year. In at 6, have Demetrius Johnson, Mighty Mouse. He had 11 title defenses in a row, which is just absurd. He does get discredited a lot because he fought in an era and at a weight class which wasn't very strong at the time, but he was still beating the top contenders in that division and dominating them like that flying armbar, which is just one of the most iconic moments in the entire UFC. He also did beat Cejudo, which is a great win. And in the second one, I also think he won, but got robbed. And then he also went to one championship, had a little title reign there. Did lose a fight there, but then avenged that one straight away by flying knee when he just lost to a knee, which was just pretty crazy. So DJ, one of the best of all time, maybe the best just mixed martial artist of all time. But the reason he's at 6 and not high is because I feel like the people above him have better quality of wins, which is what puts him down a bit, and they also have a lot of volume as well. So in at 5, I have Alexander Volkanovski, my favourite fighter as an Australian. He's just the GOAT. I wouldn't be mad if you swapped him and DJ, but he beat Holloway 3 times, someone who's probably 11 on this list, and just beating him 3 times is pretty crazy. The second fight, a bit controversial, but the third fight, 50-45, unbelievable. Beat Brian Ortega, escaped the submission, which I don't think anyone else is escaping. Beat Korean Zombie, Rodriguez, Diego Lopez, Jose Aldo. Great legacy. His losses in the UFC are to Islam Makhachev. The first one, people say he won. I don't think he did, but it was a great fight, weight class above against the pound-for-pound number 2. Second loss to Islam Makhachev was short notice, I think 11 days. Like, I'm not sure if you can count. Well, obviously it's a loss, but it wasn't the best Volkanovski in the octagon for that one. And then his other loss is to Ilia Topuria. Again, was it the best version of Volk? I don't know if it was, because he just got KO'd 3 months before and he came back. So even in all of his losses, there's just no like a clear that guy was better than him. And well, I probably shouldn't say that, but there is some doubt in his losses. And listen, this may be glaze. It probably does sound like glaze, but that's what I'm going with. Okay, so Volk at 5. On topic, we have Ilya at 4. He beat Volk, Max, and Charles. And look, three of my favourite fighters, to be honest, and he slimed them all out. But you just got to respect Ilya. He's a villain, but he's just too damn good. The Volk one, as I just said, maybe not the best version of Volk, but that Max, I believe, is the best version of Max he could have versed. He was cutting back down, but he did just dominate, just engage here. And then the Charles, I don't know if it's not prime Charles, but he still KO'd him in the round, which just shows his level of dominance. I do believe he could become the GOAT of the sport. I'm really hoping we get to see Ilya for Islam. Ilya versus Islam. Like, you just don't get opportunities like this very often, where you have the pound-for-pound number 1 versus the pound-for-pound number 2, who are both top 5 fighters of all time, who are similar weight classes, so they actually can fight. I'm hoping it's at 155 because that's the most fair fight. But if it is at 170 and Ilya wins, well, no point even having a debate anymore. It is just, he is the GOAT. He'd be a triple champ. He would have beat Volk, Max, and Charles, and Islam all back to back. He would be the GOAT of the sport. Up next at 3, I have John Jones. He's a double champ. He has 17 title fights, but he's basically Diddy at this point. Like, he ducked Tom Aspinall, which hurt his legacy. He got done for PEDs. He's a weird guy. He used to be my GOAT, but his legacy isn't as polished as I once thought. Like, even looking at his later fights in his light heavyweight reign, when he was versing Dominic Reyes, which people say he lost, he won a split decision against Thiago Santos. When the fighters became bigger, he struggled a lot more against those guys, which, it wasn't as polished as I once thought it was. I thought he was just dominated everyone, but now that I'm a bit older and I actually can look back, Jones, his legacy isn't that good. His heavyweight reign was weird. The Garn fight was weird, and he beat a 43-year-old Stipe. So really not much going for you there. But up next in at 2, I have Islam Makhachev. A lot of people have him as their GOAT now. He did beat Volk twice, great wins, but it's the Dustin Poirier win which still gives me doubt, because I'm not sure if the Dustin Poirier Islam beat is a better Dustin Poirier than Khabib beat. I just can't be sure. The one Khabib beat might have been a better version, and Khabib absolutely dominated Dustin Poirier. There was a close guillotine, but he won that pretty flawlessly, where the Islam fight against Dustin Poirier, Islam, two judges gave Dustin Poirier round 2, and 2 judges gave Dustin Poirier round 4. And Islam also got cut up real bad. It was a real tough fight. So that's where the doubt comes in, because, Khabib absolutely dominated. Well, I won't say absolutely dominated, but he won that fight much more easily than Islam won his fight against Dustin. As well, the Moicano win, it's not his fault. Armour pulled out. Then the JDM win, which is a great win, and is why he's in it too, and why people put him as a GOAT, because to just dominate JDM, who was putting hands on everybody, just to dominate him the way he did. It was, look, I didn't enjoy watching it as an Australian, but it was just like, wow. And now for my GOAT, George St. Pierre, GSP, a double champ, 9 title defenses, no controversies, avenged all of his losses, just has a very good legacy and was one of the best, well, I think is the best fighter of all time. His only loss comes, well, not his only loss, but his only loss he didn't avenge comes to Steve Rogers, Captain America, in Captain America the Winter Soldier. So, and he was definitely juiced. So, yeah, not really a bad loss there for GSP. But thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I actually made this video and posted along with 2 others for the debut of this channel. So, thanks for watching this one. But if you want to watch another, go check out these ones.